Tomorrow starts Saturday strong with the big noon Saturday game of the week. You got Jim Harbaugh and the 13th ranked Wolverines facing off with the Spartans. It's one of the wildest Big Ten rivalries, and it all starts with big noon kickoff at 10 Eastern tomorrow on Fox and the Fox Sports app. All right, gentlemen, time for drawing a blank. Let's start in Cleveland. Baker and the Browns
this segment.
hosting the Raiders Sunday on Fox. First game for Baker with no OBJ, a win, and they can gain some ground on the Steelers and Ravens. But Brandon, the player you're most excited to watch in Week 8 is blank.
Oh, yeah, Jen, I love this block. I have to go with Tua. I think there's something special about seeing a rookie quarterback's first game. And then also yesterday we talked about it. This is going to be baptism by fire. Now, what's that guy's name again, Nick and Wiles? Is it Sue? Oh, no, it's Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald will get back on track with 3 sacks this week because Tua is going to have to learn the hard way and understanding how to protect himself and point out the mic and set the protection.
It's a great answer. I'm super excited to watch Tua as well. I'm going with a different quarterback. I'm going with Lamar. The Ravens are really, really good. Lamar has not been really, really good throwing the football. And I would argue that in the calendar year of 2020, Lamar has only played 2 meaningful football games. The playoff game they lost and the Chiefs game they lost. This is his 3rd meaningful football game of this calendar year. I don't think he's going to go 0-3, and I think it's concerning if he goes 0-3. And so I'm excited to watch Lamar up against this dominant Steelers defense, Wiles.
Nick, I'm going with Chad Henne. You said it as a joke that the Chiefs were going to play Chad Henne. I actually think it's a smart decision if they get out to a monster lead. I don't know, what's the line now? We at 19.5 still?
20.
So I think Patrick Mahomes goes in there like a preseason game. 20?
20.
All right, so he goes in there like a preseason game, play the first half, and then sit down. So Chad Henne, expect some big things. I think
I love it.
The line, though.
That's the best
Andy
answer.
Reid's a gentleman. He's not going to let the Chiefs jump out to that huge of a lead. But let us talk about those Chiefs. Mahomes and company, big favorite Sunday in their matchup with the winless Jets. I just mentioned it. Chiefs favored by 20. Not sure an upset is even a possibility with that kind of point spread. But Brandon, the team that should be on upset alert in Week 8 is blank.
Bills, they have the Patriots and Wilds. When's the last time you heard that the Patriots were underdogs and we're picking another team to be on upset alert? This year, 2020, can't get any wilder, but I got to go with the Bills here. I still believe in them. To me, they have everything they need to make a run at it. I know Nick is going to crush me for this, but I have to say Bills against the Patriots.
Wait. I want to understand. Are you saying you think the Bills will get upset by the Patriots or the Bills will beat the Patriots? I want to make sure I understand.
No, yes, no. So I think this, look, they can't win. They can't afford to lose 3 in a row. I still believe in this Bills team. The Patriots, who I don't believe in, can come in and win this game. They do have a nice matchup because of that running game that Wiles talked about earlier and also that defensive line who's non-existent. So they have a chance.
Okay, all right. I'm going with, I think the Patriots are going to beat the Bills, but I'm going with, I think Seattle could get upset this weekend by San Francisco. There's a few factors here that concern me, but most notably is the discrepancy in how much football these 2 teams had to play last week. San Francisco had an early kick against the Patriots that they could really start resting guys and take their foot off the gas after 3 quarters. The Seahawks, on the other hand, played the night game, a 5th full quarter in overtime against Arizona. I think all of that, plus the line strikes me as a little funny. Seattle only 3-point favorites. Feels like Vegas is begging you to bet on them. I think the Niners upset the Seahawks this week.
I'm going with Mother Nature in Buffalo. Huge upset. Granted, it's going to be super windy. It's going to be super rainy. But about 3:30, when the Patriots win the game, watch out. Rays of sunshine emanating out of Foxborough, enlightening and making everyone happy on this dark October day. It'll actually be November.
All right, well, I'm going to take your forecast and raise you one. The Patriots have lost 3 in a row Wilds, first time since 2002. We talked about a rainy and windy setting for this game against the Bills. Patriots desperately need a win. Bills, you could say, desperately need a win. But, Brandon, the team that most needs a win in Week 8 is blank.
Seahawks. But let's go back to the last question. Nick, I love how you take everything into consideration when you're making your picks. You're looking at, oh, let me look at the scheme. Let me look at the stats. You know everything about these teams. But then you also include Vegas. Oh, yeah, Vegas have them at 3-point underdogs or dogs.
Yeah, it's a little tricky.
You're like, yeah, so there must be something there.
Yeah, you got to be careful.
So Vegas knows a lot. They have a lot of Bill Belichick just sitting in Vegas in the Wynn Hotel, MGM.
Yes.
Helping people put together these spreads. I love it. So look,
they've reached out to me, but I won't leave the show. I like you guys too much. Sorry, go ahead.
I love it. No. So the Seattle Seahawks, man, they cannot afford to lose 2 in a row. They got to get their mojo back. Obviously, the defense isn't there yet. I think they're 2 or 3 weeks away from being a decent defense with the guys that's coming in and getting them up to speed and getting them back healthy. Russell Wilson won't throw another 3 picks in a game. So the Seattle Seahawks, with this amazing opportunity that they have this year to be a contender, to win a Super Bowl, they got to get back on track right now.
Seattle's a great answer, Brandon, because if they win, they're in first in the conference. If they lose, depending on how the rest of the week shakes out, they could be 8th in the conference or on the outside looking in for the playoffs, amazingly, because it's so bunched up in the NFC. But I'm going with a different team. I think it's the New Orleans Saints. This should be the first game they have Michael Thomas since Week 1. Not coincidentally, Week 1 was the only time this year they've looked great. Since Michael Thomas last played, the story of the NFL has seemingly been the surge of the Tampa Bay Bucks, who play in the Saints division. So I think the Saints, just to keep pace with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, desperately need a win, especially if they're going to have Michael Thomas back on the field finally for the first time since September 11th, 12th, whatever the day that Week 1 game was. So I think New Orleans, because all of a sudden Tampa looks like a potential 11-12 win team, Wilds.
I'm going to go with the Bucks here, not necessarily for standings reasons, but for MVP reasons. This is a great opportunity on Monday night for Brady to just tee off on the Giants, who have several offensive linemen in quarantine. This is going to be a huge game for Brady. He's going to light up the scoreboard, and come Tuesday, everyone's going to be like, wow. I think Tom Brady's getting closer and closer to that MVP talk, maybe eventually taking over Russell Wilson.
Brady's never had a bad game against the Giants. I like it.
Okay.
Finish up. Let's finish up with Brandon Seahawks now. Russell Wilson in Seattle hosting the division rival Niners Sunday. It's on Fox. Russ, again, coming off that brutal 3-pick game against the Cardinals. Still the MVP favorite, though, as of right now, until, of course, as Wilds mentioned, Tuesday morning. So, Brandon, the player with the most to prove in Week 8 is blank.
This is a good one. For the past few weeks, my guy, Nick, has been texting me, what's going on with Michael Thomas? Is this a story? I think there's something here, Brandon. Why isn't he practicing? He goes out to practice, then he goes back into the locker room. Something fishy is happening. So I'm going with Michael Thomas. Nick Wright called it a couple weeks ago. We got to see this guy back into football. He's too big of a piece for this team. And Michael Thomas, let's go, baby. Let's get back healthy. Let's get back right and help your team win ball games.
100%. It's very curious, the situation there, and we'll see if it gets silenced a bit if he has a big game this weekend against that great Bears defense. But I'm going to go with Carson Wentz. Sunday Night Football is Cowboys-Eagles, and I don't know if anybody cares about the game. It's amazing. I would have laid 5,000 to 1 against that the day before a Sunday. Instead, it's getting mentioned here and not much else because both teams have been so bad. The Cowboys, statistically, are the worst team in the NFL, not named the Jets. Carson Wentz, statistically, has been a bottom 4 quarterback this year. Neither of those things would have been what you expected going into the season. And there's excuses for both. The Cowboys lost Dak. They might have hired the wrong D coordinator. Eagles' entire offensive line and receiving core is banged up. Carson needs to have a good game. If the Eagles can't win this division this year, then those very quiet rumblings about why did they draft Jalen Hurts start to become a little louder. So I think Carson Wentz on national television is under massive pressure when he's up against DiNucci, most likely for the Cowboys, to have a big game, Wilds.
Look, Vikings-Packers coming up. I want to show you the most interesting thing I saw on the internet yesterday. It's from Ben Baldwin, and it's an internet graphic. It's not made for TV, so you got to get very close to your television or follow Ben Baldwin on Twitter. This is second and long pass rate. Look, it's the play you need to make. Do not run the ball on second and long. And look how good the Seahawks are doing. And then if you go way down, look at the Vikings. It's a terrible play. So I think someone in the Vikings organization is like, Coach Zimmer, did you see this? We can't be dead last. So if there's a second and long play, they have to throw it. Mike Zimmer, courtesy of this graphic, you have to throw it. You got the most approved. Do not run it. You're going to be exposed via this graphic and Ben Baldwin.
Wild spends an enormous amount of time scouring the internet. Big showdown in Baltimore Sunday. Big Ben versus Athletic Lamar. We'll break it all down next. First things first. Yes, he is.